Ayo, it's Friday. Welcome back. Spring is here. Yay, pollen allergies. But also flowers. So that's what we're going to be drawing today. I'm going to be drawing flower fairies based off of some cool flowers that I found. I hope you enjoy the video. Our first character is based off of a forget-me-not. I'm going to delve a little bit into the symbolism of all the different flowers that we're going to see in this video. So forget-me-nots are viewed as symbols of love and remembrance, hence the name forget-me-not. In medieval times, forget-me-nots were often exchanged between lovers. Today, they are often used to honor loved ones who have passed away. Something I found that was interesting was a few folk tales about the origins of the name forget-me-not. One of them is a German folk tale that holds that when God named all of the plants, he accidentally passed over the forget-me-not because it was so small and delicate. The plant called out, "Forget-me-not, Lord," and God thought that this was a fitting name and bestowed it upon the little flower. A different story about the naming of the forget-me-not comes from the 15th century. A knight was picking flowers for his lover by the river when the current caught him and swept him away. As he was carried off, he cried, "Forget-me-not," giving the flowers their name. There are different colors of forget-me-nots that symbolize different things. The blue forget-me-not, which I used in this design, will come to the coloring shortly. That symbolizes love and loyalty. The pink forget-me-not symbolizes the importance of a nurturing and caring relationship, and the white forget-me-not symbolizes purity. Another fun fact is that the alpine forget-me-not is Alaska's state flower. I wanted the design for this character to be very delicate, just like the forget-me-not itself. So this character is going to be pretty slim and petite. I think that she would be quite short compared to a lot of other fairies. I gave her like a more traditional dress, and it has puffy sleeves and a puffy skirt that I tried to capture the shape of the forget-me-not petals with. Her shirt buttons, her blouse buttons, are supposed to look like the centers of the forget-me-nots. If you saw in the reference photo, the flowers have bright yellow centers with white starbursts around them. I thought that was really neat, and I definitely wanted to include it in part of my design. I gave her ballet shoes because I thought that she would also be very graceful. I think that she would like to dance. She would find physical activity really fun. For her personality, she would be really sweet, kind of naive. I think her job would be a messenger, so kind of like a postal worker, I guess, for the fairy world. I came up with that because of the forget-me-nots symbolizing love and remembrance, and so I thought that she could go around like carrying messages of friendship and love from one person to another. I gave her blue scleras, dark blue scleras, I think that's how you say that word, and light pupils because I thought that was really fun. They're fairies. I mean, sometimes you just gotta go a little off the beaten path, I guess. Her wings, I didn't base off of anything specific, just tried to get the color of the forget-me-not back in there. I also wanted them to look kind of iridescent, so I'm going in here and like layering in some dots of color, blending them together. I will put that on a separate layer and then change the opacity on the top layer so that it kind of like shows through the different colors to get an iridescent effect here. For the fairies, I wanted to give them all simple backgrounds that they could stand out against, and here is our forget-me-not. I do not have a name for this character, so if you come up with one that you think sounds really cool, feel free to put it in the comments, and I may come back in the next video and choose some names that I like. This next character I based off of a clematis. There are many different varieties of clematis plants. They have nicknames like Old Man's Beard, Virgin's Bower, and Leatherflower. The specific variety of clematis I was using as a reference for this design is the Clematis roguchi. I hope I'm saying that right. It is a hybrid variant of clematis. As far as I'm aware, All variants of the clematis flower are poisonous when ingested or when exposed directly to the skin for a period of time. So if you see pretty flower, don't eat it. The clematis flower is often connected with ingenuity and intelligence because the way the vines climb up the trellises, people thought that looked like the plant was smart. I'm not sure. But especially during the Victorian era, when flowers were kind of all the rage, there was something called floriography, and it was the language of flowers or communication through flowers, and it was incredibly popular, especially among women in Victorian society. So if you gave someone a bouquet, it had a really clear meaning. That meaning could be a meaning of love, it could be a meaning of friendship, it could even be a meaning of dislike. I looked up some of the meanings of different flowers, and I found basil, which literally meant I hate you. So these bouquets were used to communicate messages that could not be delivered out loud, usually due to the constraints of Victorian society, which was extremely strict. So every detail mattered. Even the way the bouquet or the flower was handed over meant something. For example, if you handed over a flower with your right hand, it was an affirmative answer, and if you handed over a flower with your left hand, it was a negative answer, which I think is kind of crazy, but also really cool. I think that we should bring back floriography and all just talk to each other using flowers. The idea for this video actually came from Pinterest. There's kind of a moderate trend going around. Maybe it's not going around anymore, but it was a trend to find cool flowers that looked like dresses and to draw like fairies or ballerinas in the dresses that were the flowers. And I thought that was really neat, and I wanted to do that. So I originally Googled looking for flowers to base my characters off of. I Googled like flower dress, fairy flower dress, things like that. And what came up was a clematis, and I can see why. The blossoms are kind of dress-shaped, but they immediately reminded me of a bell. So I have this guy holding a bell. I gave him sort of a sinister look because of the dark colors of the blossom and also the fact that the clematis plants are mildly poisonous. I think that in the fairy world, I don't think he would actually be a fairy. I think that he would be more of an entity that can disguise itself as different things. I think his role would be, for lack of a better term, a god of death. You know who you are. I finally have a god of death character. So he would go around, he would act sort of as Hermes from Greek mythology, who would find souls and call them to the underworld. He wouldn't be malicious, he would just be more of a force of nature. The task has to get done, so I might as well be the one to do it sort of mentality. I think that he would be pretty patient and kind, but I don't think he would talk that much. He seems like kind of a silent guy. I did not give him any eyes. I would like to say that it's for some sort of philosophical reason, such as death does not judge, death does not need eyes to judge, but really it was just because I thought it looked cool and I wanted to include it. I also gave him this bluish skin tint because I feel like a lot of the time artists forget that they can do whatever they want, and they will keep like drawing conventional characters with normal skin colors and normal hair colors, not I don't know what I just said. But maybe that's just me. But I find that a lot of the time I'm just drawing normal people. And I was like, why not give him blue skin? That's something that I can do. So if you're an artist, have fun. Like, try something you've never tried before. Make a character have pink skin or 7 eyes. Go all out. I also do not have a name for this character either, so again, if you come up with one that you like, put it in the comments. I read the comments. I might pick one. I gave him some really fancy embroidery on his sleeves, and also like sort of a like decorative corset thing. I just wanted him to have formal robe vibes, like he could be kind of like sort of a wizard or a spirit. We don't really know, but here he is. Our last speed paint of the day is based off of a water lily. Water lilies usually represent peace, celebration, hope, and joy. In Hinduism and Buddhism, they also symbolize rebirth because they close at night and open again in the morning, the flowers do. To Buddhists, they also represent enlightenment, a beautiful flower rising from the mud, which is a really pretty visual. I chose a hardy water lily. There are hardy water lilies and tropical water lilies to base this guy off of because hardy water lilies can survive in cold temperatures as well as warm temperatures, which I thought was important for a character like this because I'm making him a soldier. His name is Lilium. It's a terrible pun, I'm sorry. But he immediately, when I saw the water lily, it struck me as tough, especially the lily pads. And so I really wanted to make a fighter sort of guy inspired by that. So as you can see, I gave him a water lily shield. He gets a breastplate made out of the blossoms. I gave him a water lily skirt as well. However, in personality, I think that he would be the last person you'd expect to be a soldier. He looks like a really sweet guy who, just wants to sit down and have some milk and cookies and, talk things out with you. I think he's one of my favorite of the designs from this video. The other one of my favorite designs from this video, I didn't even get a speed paint of because the video was already pretty long. I may extend my video length as my channel grows. Let me know what you guys think. Would you be willing to sit through a 20-minute video if it meant getting 4 speed paints instead of 3? I just want to hear your thoughts. But I will put up a picture of the final character design that didn't make it as a speed paint, and I'm going to talk about her a little bit right now. Her name is Bev. She is based off of an orchid. I think that she would own a bar, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but I intended her to be sort of the connection point to all of these characters. I feel like they all would come and hang out at her bar. I'm not sure that our Forget-Me-Not character would drink, but they would come there to socialize. I feel like Bev would be really good friends with Lilium because they are both sort of really happy and joyous characters. For Bev's design, I wanted to give her lots of round shape language because the petals of the orchid are so round and it gives such a round silhouette. So I gave her really puffy pants. I captured the orchid blossom shape on her blouse with the 3 petals. For her shoes, the little detail in the center of the shoe, I tried to make be the center of the orchid. And then I gave her some green tinted glasses because I really liked how they looked on her. Coming back to Lilium, he's another one that I kind of went wacky with the colors for. I had a lot of fun experimenting with them. I was debating on giving him green hair or pink hair, but a friend said that I should give him pink hair, so I did. And I think it really suits him. Again, I did more iridescent for his wings. I did have a concrete base for him. I based his wings off of dragonflies, because dragonflies are aquatic insects, and so they'd hang out around water lilies a lot. Actually, I was looking at reference pictures of water lilies, and there was also lots of dragonflies with the water lilies. I think his weapon would be, he would use a bow staff, hence the little water lily stem that he's holding there. And I feel like he would be, maybe it's just my influence from the Guardian in my first video, but I feel like he would be the personal guard of the fairy queen or king. I already said that Bev would get along really well with Lilium and he with her, but I also think that Lilium would really like the Forget-Me-Not character, and since I think she would be a lot younger than the rest of these characters, he would kind of adopt her as a daughter and make sure that she was kept safe. I think that Bev would maybe be a bit of a bad influence on the Forget-Me-Not character and I don't know, try to teach her how to gamble and like swear or something. The Forget-Me-Not character would probably look up to both of them a lot. Maybe not the best in Bev's case, but kind of like found family, I guess. And then my Clematis guy would just be off being ominous in the distance. Well, those were our characters for today. Let me know your favorite. Let me know if you have any names for the Forget-Me-Not and the Clematis. Other than that, have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.